Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cydney and today I'm going to talk about some new releases that I'm excited for. One of them comes out in a couple days, but the rest of them come out in the top of 2024. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is because in my end of year tag / December TBR jar video, I mentioned how there are no new releases that I'm anticipating because I don't really, I guess, track new releases in a traditional way, but I realized that I have a bunch of really good things on my Netgalley shelf that I'm really excited to read. So I wanted to highlight some of those. Hopefully I'll be able to read them soon because, like I said, they are on my shelf, so I have access to them. Kind of see where I can fit some of them into my reads this month. Like I might have to skip some reads on my TBR, if you know what I mean. The book that comes out in a couple days is called Crucible of Chaos, and it's by Sebastian de Castell. Since I don't have a lot to say about these books, as I don't know much about them, I requested these books based on their covers, based on their description. So I'm going to show the cover and I'm going to read the description. I hope that that helps you make a decision if you want to read that as well. Estevar Boros, one of the legendary sword-fighting magistrates known as the Greatcoats and the king's personal investigator of the supernatural, is no stranger to tales of ghosts and demons. When the factitious monks of the abbey rumored to be the birthplace of the gods began warring over claims of new pantheon arising, the frantic abbot summons him to settle the dispute. But Estevar has his own problems, a near-fatal sword wound from his last judicial duel, a sworn knight who claims he has proof the monks are consorting with demons, a diabolical inquisitor with no love for the Greatcoats, and a mysterious young woman claiming to be Estevar's ally, but who may well be his deadliest enemy. Armed only with his famed investigative talents, his faltering skill with the blade, and imperious, his ornery mule, Estevar must root out the source of the madness lurking inside the once sacred walls of Isola Sombra before its chaos spreads to the country he's sworn to protect. This is a standalone sci-fi fantasy, but it is also a prelude to Play of Shadows, which is the first official novel in the Court of Shadows series, which I don't know anything about Sebastian de Castell, but if I do love this book, I will obviously read the series, and I'll let you know how I like it after I read it. And it comes out December 7th, 2023. So if I'm able to read it this month, I'll include it in my wrap-up. Otherwise, I'll likely be reading this in December, and I'll let you know what I think. So there are 5 more books on this list, and the rest of them do come out in 2024. The next one is called My Lying Husband by Evie Seymour, and it comes out January 9th. I've struggled to build a good life for me and my son, but one moment will destroy everything. I hear my son cry out. I rush half-dressed to the window and see 2 men marching up my driveway. They knock my son to the ground. They want the keys to my car. I phone my husband. Susanna, Lance says in a voice I don't recognize. Hand them the keys. Do not call the police. It brings back the wild panic I experienced all those years ago when I discovered I was pregnant after an intense holiday romance. I couldn't tell the father, and I struggled as a single mother. But when Lance suggested we move in with him and I could finally give my son a proper loving home, it was the happiest day of my life. But our life was built on lies, not just about money, everything. That sounds very juicy and very good. I'm very excited to read this one. I might this might be the one that I cheat and add to my TBR for December, because it says here, it's perfect for fans of Frida McFadden. And that is my girl, okay? So I might cheat and add that to my TBR. Is it cheating? I don't know. Like, it's an arc. I feel like I have to read it. So, because I need to get my Netgalley score up. So I have to read some of these, okay? Don't be mad at me. Obviously, this is a mystery and a thriller, so thrillers are my jam. I'm very much looking forward to this book. Okay, the next book is The Last Immortal by Natalie Gibson. It comes out on January 23rd, and it is a horror sci-fi fantasy. So that is definitely unlike anything I've read lately. So I'm so looking forward to this. And if I'm being honest, this is probably the book that I'm looking forward to the most. If I can cheat 2 books, it's going to be My Lying Husband and Last Immortal. I am Lady Vermilia Winmore, daughter of the very late Earl of Brooksbury, or I was lifetimes ago. I am an immortal, and this is my story. Do what you will with it, but I must warn you, this tale is not for the faint of heart. High-born Victorian lady that I was, my life was one of violence and cruelty. Lady Vermilia Woodmore has suffered gaps in her memory her entire life. Girl, same. This darkness has proven to be a blessing until the day she awakened strapped to an examination table at the West Freeman Asylum for Lunatics. Imprisoned for the gruesome murder of her parents, she is forced to endure years of torture until salvation arrives in the form of a benefactor named Sir Julian Lawrence. Betrothed to her through an arranged marriage, Julian helps her gain her freedom. But appearances are deceiving, and soon Romelia learns the cost she must pay. The horrors she encounters in his household are far worse than the asylum. When he inducts her into a society of bloodthirsty, cruel immortals, she is forced to join them and accept their way of life. Armed with talent she doesn't know she has, Romelia must break free of a prison she cannot see, kill an enemy who cannot die, and find a daughter who she cannot remember, all with the help of an ally she does not know. In this chilling Gaslight era Gothic horror novel, where paranormal powers are bred and collected, friends and foes are not always what they seem when immortality is at stake. Like, that sounds so good. That sounds so good. It actually does sound scary too. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I don't really read stuff that's like genuinely scary. And I want that because I am such a scaredy cat and I'm so fearful that I feel like I need to, like, I don't know. What's it called when you, like, oh my God, exposure therapy? Is that what it is? I feel like I need to do that with horror because then I won't be so scared of everything. It says that if you love Silvia Moreno Garcia's Mexican Gothic, which I have not read and I own, but I don't have access to right now. It says if you like Gothic horror, vampires, paranormal, Penny Dreadful, the Frankenstein Chronicles, then you will love this book. So I like Gothic horror and vampires, so I hope that makes me love this. I'm very, very excited to read this one. The next book is called An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson. It is a general adult fiction, LGBTQIA+ sci-fi fantasy. And it comes out on February 13th, 2024. Sumptuous and addictive, An Education in Malice is a dark academia tale of blood, secrets, and insatiable hungers from S.T. Gibson, author of the cult hit A Diary of Blood, which I did not read. So, and I've also never read dark academia that I don't think I have. So, very excited for this one. Anyway, deep in the forgotten hills of Massachusetts stands St. Perpetua's College. Isolated and ancient, it is not a place for timid girls. Here, secrets are currency, ambition is lifeblood, and strange ceremonies welcome students into the fold. On her first day of class, Laura Sheridan is thrust into an intense academic rivalry with the beautiful and enigmatic Carmilla. Together, they are drawn into the confidence of the demanding poetry professor, De La Fontaine, who holds her own dark obsession with Carmilla. But as their rivalry bloom, can I say that? As their rivalry blossoms into something far more delicious, Laura must confront her own strange hungers. Tangled in a sinister game of politics, bloodthirsty professors, and magic, Laura and Carmilla must decide how much they are willing to sacrifice in their ruthless pursuit of knowledge. And again, this is for people who loved A Diary of Blood by S.T. Gibson. I've never read it, but like I said, I'm definitely looking forward to this one. And I mean, it has a beautiful cover. Like, I feel like out of all the books that I've talked about, oh no, Last Immortal has a really good cover too. Education in Malice is definitely up there. Like, that's a really pretty cover. So I'm excited for that one too. The next book is called The Resort by Sarah Ochs. I hope that's right. And it comes out February 13th. It is a mystery thriller. Welcome to paradise. We hope you enjoy your stay. There are 3 rules to survive a dive at the famous Kosang Resort. 1, breathe normally if something goes wrong. Scuba diving instructor Cass leads her students out for the first dive off the beautiful coast of Kosang, Thailand's world-famous party island. It's supposed to be a life-changing experience, but things quickly spiral out of control. 2, always dive with someone you trust. By the time she's back on the shore, Lucy, one of her students, is dead, another critically injured, and she knows the new and idyllic life she has built herself is about to be smashed to pieces on the rocks. 3, don't panic if your oxygen is running out. Because someone has discovered Cass's dark secret, and on an island as remote as this, there aren't many places to hide. There is a killer waiting, and whoever it is will stop at nothing until Cass's life is ruined and justice is finally served. Definitely looking forward to reading this. It sounds very atmospheric. It kind of sounds like a summer read, but I don't really believe in, like, I don't know, seasonal reads. I mean, it's not like I don't believe in it, but I just don't abide by it. Like, I'll read anything, any time of year. And this is going to be something I'm reading in February. So, and the last book on this list, which is, I mean, I feel like I'm looking forward to it either way, but it's not on my shelf. So this is like the first five are like absolutes. Those are all on my shelf, but this one is still pending. And I'm trying to be positive, but I feel like it's waiting to win the lottery. Like you just, I feel like the odds are not in my favor because I need to like really get my Netgalley score together. And I feel like people who have high scores on Netgalley, which means that they lend you books and then you review them, I feel like those people are like probably getting instantly accepted, but not me. It is This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. I have talked about this ad nauseum, but I absolutely loved Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. It is one of my favorite reads of 2023. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. It was so wonderfully well written. It was so completely encompassing of a Black family dynamic. I just thought so many different things about the book were beautiful. This book is the female main character in that book's best friend. And I've really liked her in the book, but I wasn't like, oh, I want to know more about her. But now I want to know everything about her. This cover is gorgeous. The description is stunning. I can tell I'm going to be crying again. I mean, I cry all the time. Like I'm the person who can cry off of a commercial. Like I'm always crying about something, but Before I Let Go had me in Chambliss, okay? And I feel like this is going to be like that again. Soledad Barnes has her life all planned out, because of course she does. She plans everything. She designs everything. She fixes everything. She's a domestic goddess who's never made a party she couldn't host or a charge she couldn't lead. The one with all the answers and the perfect vinaigrette for that summer salad. But none of her varied talents can save her when catastrophe strikes and the life she built with the man who was supposed to be her forever goes poof in a cloud of betrayal and disillusion. But there is no time to pout or sulk, or even grieve the life she lost. She's too busy keeping a roof over her daughters' heads and food on the table. And in the process of saving them all, Soledad rediscovers herself. From the ashes of a life burned to the ground, something bold and new can rise. But then an unlikely man enters the picture, the forbidden one, the one she shouldn't want but can't seem to resist. She has lost it all before and refuses to repeat her mistakes. Can she trust him? Can she trust herself? After all she's lost and found, can she be brave enough to make room for what could be? Like, I'm gonna cry. I can tell. I'm gonna cry, and it's gonna be okay, okay? It says here it's for fans of Tia Williams and Colleen Hoover. I haven't read Tia Williams. I've heard she's wonderful. I own 2 of her books. I only have access to one of them. And I'm not trying to be, I am being shady, but no shade to Kennedy Ryan. Like if she's cool with Colleen Hoover, cool, right? But as someone who's read a couple books by Colleen Hoover, I think literally 2, and 2 books from Kennedy Ryan, I don't see the comparison. Like, I think it's kind of insulting to compare Colleen Hoover to Kennedy Ryan. And I might cut this out the video because it's a little messy, but I just feel like if you're someone who's turned off by Colleen Hoover, I don't think you should read this, like read blurbs that compare the 2 and say, oh, I'm not going to read Kennedy Ryan because she's like Colleen Hoover, because that's not the case. Okay, that's not the case. That's not the case. That's not the case. I would hate for you to miss out on Before I Let Go. Do you think it's going to be like Ugly Love or something? Like, don't. Okay, don't. All right, those are the 6 reads that are coming out at the top of 2024/end of 2023 that I'm most excited about. If you are excited about these books, if you've heard of these books, let me know in the comments down below. What are some books that you are excited for at the end of this year and the beginning of 2024? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. One more thing, okay? Because I am reading these on Netgalley, I decided to redecorate my Kindle, give my girl Violet a winter makeover, okay? So I'm going to insert that clip at the end of this video. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.